This is the third video in a three-part series giving you a peek behind the scenes of my book, Finding the Energy to Thrive, Navigating the Maze of Life and Embracing Your Path to Wholeness. The book's available in paperback and on Kindle, and it's published on the 29th of May 2025. I am Katie Dean, the founder of the company Find My Energy, which helps people to reconnect to themselves and rediscover their own endless supply of energy. And in this video, I'm going to be exploring 3 questions that people have asked me about the book. I will be sharing how the themes in here are so much bigger than just chronic illness, what you can do now if you already feel like you've tried everything, and finally we'll be ending with some hope and inspiration for all of you. Yes, that is a space that was very familiar to me on my own journey. And the first thing I would really say is to acknowledge that that's where you are and to treat yourself with kindness. It's really difficult to navigate that path of hope and despair, which is essentially what we're doing. You need to retain the hope that there is going to be a solution. I mean, I talked about just having this stubborn belief that chronic fatigue was not meant to be the way my life was going to unfold forever. So that's kind of the hope part. But of course, each time I tried a protocol or worked with a practitioner and had this expectation of that being the breakthrough, and then it wasn't, then in comes the despair. And of course, the more things you try, the more you can feel like, but I've tried everything. And really, there is never going to be a point when you've tried everything, because even if you have, by some miracle, managed to try absolutely everything that's available right now, there will be something new that arrives tomorrow. So when you find yourself getting into that mindset of sort of all or nothing, it's really just a sign that your nervous system is becoming overwhelmed, and really you just want to take a step back and give yourself some space. Acknowledge all the emotions that are flowing through. There may be anger mixed in there, there may be grief, frustration, all sorts. So just take some space to just see those, process them as best you can, and regroup. And that's what I had to do many times on my own journey. And the more you can find people around you that can support you and just hold you in that space when you just need to take time out, that will also be incredibly helpful. And yes, really, it's a message about being kind to yourself, and also a message about the power of acceptance, because even if you should happen to genuinely have reached a space where you have tried everything, there's always that one last thing that's going to be available all of the time, and that thing is what I've called radical acceptance, which is actually learning to find the peace with where you are at right now. And that does come from processing the emotions of anger, grief, anxiety, frustration, and so on, all of which are possible, not necessarily easy. And if you are in that space right now, this is probably the last information that you want to hear. So also I would want to just give you a big hug and say, it will be okay. I know it's not okay right now, but one day it will be okay. Just keep on hanging on, and you are amazing for being here and showing up for yourself each day. So please hold on to that, if nothing else. Well, that is an excellent point, and it was something that I became increasingly aware of as I was writing the book, that these themes are just rife within society. I mean, so many of us are tired all the time, and that doesn't mean that we've gone into a diagnosis of actual ill health. We're just kind of running on a hamster wheel that seems to be never ending, and we feel like we can never catch up with ourselves. We're also, most of us, disconnected. I mean, there's an epidemic of loneliness on this planet right now, which is sad to see. So yes, as I was writing this, it occurred to me that what I'm sharing in here is actually information that would potentially benefit every single human being on this planet. It's not purely relating to chronic fatigue. That happens to be the story through which I gained this wisdom, but that wisdom applies in all sorts of other areas. So I hope that there will be more people who read this and are able to apply that to whatever they're experiencing in their own lives, even though that may not have the chronic fatigue syndrome label attached to it. But of course, first piece of advice when you're writing a book is that you need a target audience. So it's no good writing a book for the entire planet. You need to hone in, and so obviously my target audience would reflect my experience, which is this chronic fatigue diagnosis. But it certainly is so much wider than that. We've got these broader themes coming on. So yes, as I say, I hope that that is something that a lot of people will explore and from which they will gain benefit as well. Well, it's surprisingly hard to narrow this down to just one thing. But if I were to try, I would say I would like them to take away from it a sense of empowerment and also self-compassion. Because neither I nor anybody else can realistically, or even I believe authentically, truthfully, predict what outcome you're going to experience on your recovery journey. And if you are looking for somebody to give you promises, I would actually say that that's maybe a little bit of a red flag. It's likely to set you up for disappointments. So what I would hope that this book is offering is the ability to put you back in touch with yourself and to understand and see how much strength, how much resilience, how much awareness you have within you, and how you can use that to support yourself even more than you are already doing. Because if you're not going to have picked up this book in the first place unless you are already aware of your resilience, your strength, the way you're showing up for yourself each day. But I hope this will empower you even more, and also increase the sense of self-compassion, which is going to support you so much along your journey. And beyond that, hopefully it will give you curiosity, give you the tools to find a path that is right for you with more ease. And I would just end by saying that I don't know what your particular journey has looked like up until this point, or what it's going to look like going forwards. But I do know 100% that it is perfect for you. I am sending you lots of love and all the support that I can offer to know that you are held and you are safe as you take on that journey, and to say again how much I admire you for showing up and taking this path forward. Whatever outcome you end up with, you are lovable, you are amazing exactly as you are, and thank you if you are now connecting with me and allowing me to guide a small portion of the journey that entirely belongs to you.